Welcome to another episode of Open Shot Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us again for another NBA preview. We're moving right along the list, and the next team we're going to talk about is going to be another play-in bubble team, if you want to say. I mean, the play-in tournament got created during the bubble, so whatever. So this next team is going to be team number 18, y'all. 18. After this team, we have one more team that's a play-in team. And after that, all the teams after that are teams we think will make the playoffs. Well, at least make the top 8 because they'll make the top 8 and miss the playoff.
Yeah, right. I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, with this new playing stuff, it's ridiculous. LeBron hated. So this team is going to be the Portland Trailblazers for people that's wondering. So I don't know if they caught you off guard or what, but that's going to be the Portland Trailblazers. So with the Portland Trailblazers, we got them finishing at 18th on the season, making the play-in tournament and testing their luck there. Do you know any Portland fans?
Yes, actually, Latrell's brother is a Portland fan, and Aaron Beasley.
Aaron Beasley! Hey, Aaron Beasley, my dog. I hope you're doing well, man. I haven't talked to you since high school, so I wish you the best.
Yeah, he's a Portland fan, bro, and
Aaron
Latrell's brother.
Beasley. I'm going to say a quick story, and we're going to get back into the episode. You know Aaron, right? I mean, you know Aaron. You know Aaron's a grown man now. We all are. We was kids back in high school, 18, 19. I mean, not 19, but like 16, 17, whatever, 18 years old. We were all kids, whatever. I don't know how Aaron is as a person now, seeing that he's a grown man. This is like years ago. But in high school, Aaron was a real cool, relaxed guy, chill guy. You know how I was in the basketball court. I was a talker. So I used to run my mouth. I used to say, yeah. I'm still a talker. Yeah. And I used to get on people's nerves. Man, I one time I got under Aaron Beasley's skin on the basketball court and he wanted to fight me. I was, yeah. Then the crazy thing about it, we was playing team basketball and the whole time I'm talking. I'm like, yeah, you trash. You suck. I locked you up. Boom, give me that. Just going in. Then after the game, he was like, play me one-on-one then. Play me one-on-one. I said, bet. Let's play. We played. I beat him. Boy, he was boiling. He was he was hot. He was, man, F that. You suck. Play me again. Or whatever. You cheated. I'm thinking like, man, I ain't playing no more. I'm going home. I'm going home. I said, no rematch.
We're done. I don't need to prove anything. I already won.
I proved my point. I'm gone. I'm not, I barely got out of this match. You think I'm gonna play you again?
Aaron, I will be sending you a direct link to this episode so you can watch this.
Man, I wonder if you remember that, man. This happened at Aaron. If you watch this episode, this happened when we were in PE. This was our senior year in high school. It was me, you, Lanier, Jared, all of us. We was in PE and we had just played a game of basketball outside at that. We played on the outside court, and I had just beat you in 1-on-1, and you was pissed.
Aaron, it sounds like a rematch is necessary.
Man, Aaron, hey, I ain't played basketball in a long time, but I still give Aaron the blues. I want you to know that.
So there's our Portland fans for us.
So, man, do I know any Portland fans? I know a couple of Portland fans. My man Rick, my homeboy from back home, Shreveport, he a Portland fan. I know a couple of Portland fans. But yeah, what I want to talk about Portland, the moves they made. First of all, they scheduled last year. This is the first team we're talking about that actually finished above 500 last season. Portland finished 42-30 last season, so they had an above 500 record. They're a team that constantly usually makes the playoff every year. I know some years in the past they didn't make the playoff, whatever, but they are usually a team that usually makes the playoffs and usually makes not a deep run, but at least make it to the second round, sometimes the third round. Sometimes they get beaten the first round, like that year when they played the New Orleans Pelicans and they got swept. So it goes back and forth with them.
I was getting bounced at the first. Well, like the last 4 of the last 5 they got bounced at the first, but they do make their round sometimes.
Well, I'm gonna say this: since Dame been there, they've been a team that they can make it to the West. It been years they made it to the Western Conference Finals, but majority of the time, like you said, yes, they do lose in the first round. So, just talk about some moves they made this offseason. Who they picked up? They picked up Dennis Smith Jr., who I thought was going to be a really good NBA player. He proved not to be. Yeah, ever since when he was in Dallas that first year, he had a really good rookie season.
Yeah, he did.
Once they drafted Luka, they kind of moved him out the way and they traded him for Kristaps Porzingis, which I wasn't upset with. But when he went to New York, I thought he was going to really blossom into a better player, but he just never came to fruition. So wish him the best. They picked up Ben McLemore, another Kansas guy. We talked about Devontae Graham on our last episode a few episodes ago about the Charlotte Hornets. Ben McLemore is another Kansas Jayhawk player. So I always cheer for my Jayhawks.
Do you remember his NBA comparison when he was coming out of college?
Who was it?
Ray Allen.
Ooh, that was bad. Them NBA comparisons be horrible. Like the only thing, this is random, but the only thing I don't like about the NBA comparisons, they make it seem like these draft classes have about 15 Hall of Famers in them, and that's rarely the case. They compare somebody that got drafted at 16 overall to freaking Allen Iverson. I'd be like, God, like stop it. So, Ben McLemore, one play they picked up Faye's guy Larry Nance. So they picked up Larry Nance from Cleveland. A player they signed, they traded for him last year. And they gave him his money. He gave him the bag. It's Norman Powell. They gave him 5 years and 5 years for $90 million. So he's a good wing 3-and-D guy. He plays good. He did good when he was in Toronto. And now he's over there with Portland. I feel like that's a good piece for them. They lost Gary Trent Jr. for him, and I feel like it was an even trade-off. I feel like neither one of those players are that much better than each other. But I feel like say it again.
They both got paid.
Yeah, they both got paid. So that's a good thing for both of them. They also picked up Tony Snell. He has that famous meme that keeps going around where he played like 20 minutes and had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0. He was like 0 across the board, and they were just like he was just out there running around. It's funny.
Like do something, get something. Like it's like when you play a sport, like something just has to happen. The ball could just fall in your lap at some point. Something just happens. And
how you play on the basketball court for 20 minutes and not even touch the ball? That's funny, man. So they picked up him, and a player they lost was former, I believe he won a dunk contest, Derrick Jones Jr. Did he ever? I know he competed.
Yeah, I don't remember if he won or not, but he did compete.
He did compete.
In the finals.
Yeah. He did compete. They had no draft picks. They traded their draft picks away, so they had no draft picks. Expiring contracts they have Robert Covington. Robert Covington used to play for my Houston Rockets. we actually traded Clint Capella for man. Don't get me started. But Robert Covington's on the expired deal. They got the big man that's coming off an injury. What's his name? Nurkic.
Yeah, Nurkic.
Yeah, Nurkic. And they have Simmons, the point guard they drafted a couple years ago. He's extension. Yeah, he's extension eligible. He's not gonna be a free agent, but he could sign an extension if he wants. So I doubt he will, but we'll see.
He was actually out here working out at the facility a couple months ago. For the people who are listening that aren't in Phoenix, Arizona, we have a pretty famous arena because Kobe's daughter happened to play on it and Dame Lillard happened to play on it. It's called the Facility out here. If you guys seen court, like if you guys seen tape, it's all black court, but he was actually out here working out on and stuff like that. So
he's a good player. He's a good player.
He's solid.
So just talk about their starting lineup. Of course, the elephant in the room is got to be Damian Lillard, man. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? He's committed to the organization. A lot of people feel like he should leave. A lot of people close to him saying that it been reports that came out that a lot of people close to him wants him to go, like his brother, his sister, his family. You know what I'm saying? They want him to leave. His friends, they want him to leave, but he's committed to the organization. He doesn't want to go. No point of dancing around it. I'm gonna come directly to you, Faye. Do you think he should go?
Yes.
Yeah.
No questions asked. Just
that's so much. Yeah. What does a player get for being loyal to an organization? Like, what does loyalty buy?
A good paycheck. A very good paycheck. It depends. It's like we talked about this with Bradley Beal. It's like those situations where you're too good for your team. You've outgrown them, but yet your loyalty keeps you there. And it's just that situation. Like they got bounced out the first round to the Denver Nuggets without Jamal Murray, and they could have won. That's a matchup they should have won. They played against MVP, but they still didn't. They should have won that matchup, right? And then Dame makes comments saying we need to make changes. We need to make changes that can help us compete. And they do nothing big. They fire Terry Stotts. They bring in Chauncey Billups. Who knows how that's going to be? That's why we have him to play in. We just don't know what the coaching is going to be like or what's going to continuity or even things around Damian Lillard and stuff like that. Larry Nance is a great pickup. He's a perfect player for how they play basketball at the 4, a do-it-all guy. But these moves aren't moves to put him over the hump to compete for championships. These moves are maybe another playoff win or two, or maybe a round and go to the next round. Like, they're not putting Damian Lillard in position to win a ring. And it sucks because he's loyal and he wants to remain loyal, but his loyalty is going to cost him the potential for a championship. And he can go compete for a championship. Any team in the league will easily say, what do you want? We'll take Damian Lillard. What do you want? So it sucks.
Top 5 point guard in the NBA?
Absolutely.
Top 3?
Curry, number 1. Yeah, he's top 3, bro.
Top 10 player?
He's top 10 player.
I don't know about that one.
Top 10 player, bro.
I don't know about that one. That's debatable. That's debatable.
It's because he doesn't make it past the first round. That's why you feel that way.
I mean, we hopped off topic a lot on this episode. Why not keep the train going? LeBron, Giannis, KD, Kawhi, James Harden, Steph Curry, AD, and around that spot you got like player like Luka.
This is where Dame is.
Look, so you say Dame fits in that 9 to 10 spot?
Yeah, I'm not saying he's high. He's definitely in that 9 to 10 spot. Tatum is probably there, and then probably, yeah,
maybe.
It's tough. I think Damian Lillard's proven himself. I just want him to compete. With that type of talent, I want him to compete. I'm not saying CJ is a bad running mate. It'll get you some regular season wins, and just doesn't win the playoffs, and that's what sucks.
So tell me this. So let's talk about the starting lineup, and I'm gonna ask you a question. Dame, of course, CJ McCollum, Norman Powell, Robert Covington, and Jokic. Let's say that's
probably will be.
That's probably gonna be the starting lineup. They bench. They got Cody Zeller, Larry Nance, Simmons, Snell, and Little. That's probably gonna be their bench. That's probably gonna be their rotation overall. That team, we got them in the play-in tournament. The furthest their ceiling for you is first round exit at most, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they make the second round, I'd be surprised, but I just don't see this first game past the first round. Like, we don't know how good Chauncey's going to be as a coach, but it takes time for players to learn new systems and all that stuff. It could be successful off the rip, right? But then you have to factor in other things like health. Like, Larry Nance is a great player when he's healthy, but he's always hurt. Nurkic is always hurt. CJ gets hurt. You know, these type of things happen, and it's tough to say. I don't think they're round team.
So Chauncey is a first-time head coach. I'm glad you brought that up with the organization. I know you said you don't know how he's going to be as a coach, but what would be your prediction on it? Like, do you think he would be that guy for them?
I thought Jason Kidd was going to be that guy when he first got signed to the Nets. When he first wanted to get the coaching, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
I think Chauncey can be a good coach. I mean, he just helped coach the Los Angeles Clippers last season, and they made a good run, made it to the conference finals, ended up losing to the Phoenix Suns. He was a great player, finals MVP, champion. So I think he has potential to be a good coach, but it's X's and O's, and how you command your locker room, how you put players in certain places, especially when they loved Terry Stotts. So now you have to replace someone that they loved. It gets tough. It's a tough job to accept.
Terry was there for a while too, man.
Yeah, they loved him, bro. They loved him.
Yeah, Terry was there for a while. So question for you then. This is not the hot take question. We get into that, but this is us having casual conversation about the team. Let's say they do trade Dame, and let's say they do it for Ben. If Ben comes in, does Ben make that team better or make that team worse?
They're not gonna. If Ben was the best player on the team, no knock to Ben. I don't think they're competing for playoffs with the current construction of their roster.
So you think they'd be worse if Ben was the point guard of that team outside of Dame?
I think yes. Dame can pass. He can't play defense like Ben, and he can't rebound like Ben, but he can score. He can shoot the ball. That offense their previous years of offense has been designed around shooting the basketball. Ben doesn't shoot the basketball. Dane spacing the floor. CJ spacing the floor. Norman spaces the floor. They start Covington because he spaces the floor. Those players, that's what it's designed for.
Would that be a positive for Ben, though?
It could. It definitely could, because that gives him plenty of wiggle room to go out there and do things. Ben is dominant with the ball in his hands. CJ and Dame happen to know how to play with each other, which are both ball dominant players. So
I'm gonna say this: with Ben Simmons, they're a better team, in my opinion. I think
right now, personally,
I think with Ben Simmons, they are a better team
than Damian Lillard. I just don't see it right now.
I'm not saying I think Dame is a better player than Ben, but I don't think it's that big of a difference. Like if I had Ben on my team over Dame, I'm not upset. If I have Dame on my team over Ben, I think Dame. Okay, let me put it like this. It's kind of like the Harden and Curry argument.
Oh my!
Follow me.
Oh my!
A team that's not a good team that has scrap metal thrown together, I feel like Harden can take that team and do more with that team than Stephen Curry, right? You agree or no?
He's proven it. So for the sake of this conversation, okay.
I mean, it's the proof in the pudding.
Harden has proven it.
Harden has done it. Curry had his opportunity. He couldn't do it.
He's proven it. I'm not arguing that.
So Harden can take scrap metal, put it together, and take him to the playoff. Curry can't. But take Curry and put him on the championship level roster, he can take them over the hump more than Harden on a championship level roster can take a team over the hump.
Okay.
Ben Simmons, Dame Lillard. Put Dame on a championship level roster. I feel like his talent level can take that team over the hump more than putting Ben Simmons on a championship level roster. Put it like this: take Dame and put him on Brooklyn and take Kyrie off. I feel like that team would be better than taking Dame and taking Kyrie off and putting Ben Simmons there. But I feel like Ben makes people around him more. He makes people around him better more than Dame does. So I feel like on that roster, he will make people around him better on just the stuff that he can bring to the table, like defense, like passing, like setting teammates up, stuff like that. Like you said, it's a shooting team. So they got people that can space the floor, like Norman Powell, like CJ,
game, for sure.
like Robert Covington. They got Nurkic that can run the floor and play like a good big. And on top of that, Portland never been a big defensive team. Take Ben on that team, they locking teams up. CJ still going to be a liability, but Norman Powell can play defense, and Robert Covington can play really good defense. So he's an all defensive player. So put him on that team with them three, and Nurkic, he's okay, but that'll be a good defense. So I feel like that team will be better.
Larry Nance is a good defensive player, really good defensive player.
There you go.
So I understand your argument. I think in hindsight, it's hard for me to say that he'll make a team better than Damian Lillard, because Damian's single-handedly willed him to playoff appearances and stuff like that in the past. But
Dame's a baller. No disrespect.
Look, Ben Simmons is apparently adamant about not playing for Philadelphia anymore. So we will see sometime in the near future, hopefully, if this is true.
We will see. So, question for you before we close out this episode. Question for you. My sneaky hot take question, however you want to call it. Since we're talking about Damian Lillard, and we're talking about him being traded, where is the best destination for Damian Lillard to be traded outside of Philly, LA, and Brooklyn? That's gonna make you think.
Wait, the LA Lakers?
LA Lakers.
The Clippers.
You think him on the Clippers? So you think him on the Clippers will put them in championship contention?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I like that spot.
Yeah, that would be a really good team. The Clippers, I think he'll do really, really well there. He could Boston, another one with Tatum and Brown, be a good spot.
I think that'd be a better one.
Yeah, that'd be a really good
I think that'd be a more realistic one too, because I can't think of who the Clippers will give up to get them.
Yeah, and they're the Clippers, though. We'll get to them another day. Yeah, that would be a good spot too. Boston could be a good spot for them.
Yeah, I think that's Boston was my pick, and New York was my pick. The New York Knicks.
I don't think they'll be a contender with him, but I think Boston could be a contender with him.
You want to be a contender with the Knicks, but they'd be box office.
Oh man, anyone. If back to our LaMelo episode, if he was there, that'd be box office.
True.
They have Kemba. That's box office now. Let's see what they're gonna do.
No, it's not. Kemba is not box office.
A hometown kid back in the city.
He's not. 5 years ago, maybe. Today, no, he's not it. He's not it. What?
How about they have Derrick Rose? They have a good team.
Derrick Rose is not box office anymore.
I'm not saying it's box office. I'm saying that's a good team. We'll see in our New York Knicks episode coming soon.
I'm not a fan of the Knicks. I'm gonna put it out there now. I'm not a fan of the Knicks, but we will see. But that's it for us on this episode, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. So like I said, we have one more team that's a bubble and play-in bubble team. After that, we have straight playoff teams, or technically playoff teams, the traditional playoff teams, and it'd be interesting. So thank y'all for listening. Stay tuned for more episodes to come. We appreciate y'all locking in. Peace. Oh, wait. Hint for the next team. I'm gonna say Larry Bird was a part of this organization.
That's a major spoiler. Everyone's gonna know this.
I bet they won't. But that's it for us, y'all. Peace.